Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Shana, and you are stuck with me for the next hour. And I'm going to be honest, this is definitely going to be a challenging workout, but it's also going to be insane amounts of fun. Today's workout has a focus on strength. So when you leave here, it's going to feel like you are just in the weight room pushing a bunch of heavy weight for an hour. And tomorrow you're definitely going to feel some things. This one is not going to tickle. Our tools today are the TRX suspension trainer and the TRX rip trainer. And the format of the workout is we're following the TRX strong format. So we're going to pick a series of 8 exercises and do 4 sets for each exercise. 30 seconds of work, followed by 30 seconds of rest and recovery. Our goal is to make every single one of those 4 sets a little bit more challenging. But the cool thing about it is, as I give you those bigger challenges, you're welcome to just stay back and do what you need to do to get through it safely and effectively. After that, we're going to end with a couple 1-minute to failure sets. We have 3 different exercises where you're going to work either the entire minute or until you can't do any more of the exercises. And then at the end, we get some wonderful stretches for our cool down. But of course, we have to start with our warm-up. So guys, get your TRX suspension trainer. We're going to start with your standing rollout. You want your straps at mid-length. I'm going to have you stand facing away from the anchor point. Find that nice, strong, active plank. You're on the balls of your feet, shoulders down and back, and squeeze those butt cheeks nice and tight. Now roll the arms out just a bit, hold for a second, and come right back in. All we're doing right now is setting that plank in place. When you're using the rip trainer especially, you need to make sure you have that nice, strong, braced core throughout the entire time. Otherwise, you might feel it in your back, and we definitely don't want that. 10 more seconds here. I want you to feel that straight line from your ears to your shoulders, to your hips, to your ankles. 3, 2, and 1. Squat row combo. Straps stay at mid-length. Stand facing the anchor point. Have you walk back and then walk it under just a touch. Eyes are up at the anchor point. Drop your bucket down, squat, plank, and then a big row between your shoulder blades and plank. Drop that bum as low as you can safely and big squeeze behind your shoulder blades on top. We're loosening your hips and your knees, and we're opening up that posture. There's a good chance you've already been on your computer for a little bit today, hunched forward. So we want to undo some of that damage by engaging behind the shoulder blades. And don't forget about that plank that we set in place during those standing rollouts. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. My favorite warm-up exercise, forward lunge with Y-fly. So straps at mid-length, stand facing away from the anchor. Find your Frankenstein position. So my body weight is right above my feet. I'm going to step forward with my right foot, lower that left knee down, pressing into the handles, stand up tall. Notice how I'm trying to drop that back knee down to really get a nice stretch through my hip flexors. And when I stand up, I'm actively pressing into those handles to engage my core. Do you notice a trend with this whole core engagement stuff? We have 10 seconds left. You're going to step forward, bend the back knee, stretch, press into the handles, come right back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Single leg hinge. So straps are at mid-length, stand facing. Walk it back with those arms straight out in front of you and push down really hard so you feel your core engage. Center your right foot to the anchor and hinge your body forward, a little bit of a stretch. Come back up. Try not to touch your foot to the ground unless you absolutely need to for safety. So we're focusing on balance. Once again, core engagement. Notice how when you push down on those handles, you really feel the abdominals fire up. Hips are square to the floor. And that perfect posture with your head floating off your shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. Center your other foot to the anchor. Keep going. Stretch and return. I'm keeping my hips square toward the floor. And everything is nice and tight, tight, tight. Big inhales and exhales. Are those hips square toward the floor? Is your body staying in one straight line from ears to shoulders to hips to that back heel? 3, 2, and 1. Let's stay in this position. Give me a nice wide stance for your lateral lunges. Bend your right knee, drop the right bum down. pull yourself back up. Oh, this feels good. Nice stretch on the inner thighs. And you want to actually unload your body weight by pulling on those handles. That's going to help you go a little bit lower as you move through this stretch. But remember, this is unique for everybody. Not everybody's going to go all the way down to the ground. Some of you might have a lot of tightness in your hips and you're here, and that's totally fine. The goal is to get better. 3, 2, and 1. Finally, our golfer's rotation with chest opener. I love this one. Straps stay at mid, stand facing. My handles are about belly button height. I'm going to push down on those, once again, to engage the core. Rotate all the way around, facing away from the anchor point. Keeping tension on the straps, drop those arms down to the side, open your chest up. Come back up to the top, swing through, other side. Touch the ceiling, open, stretch, and back up. If that feels like it's too much on your shoulders, you can move a little bit closer to your anchor point. If you're not feeling that stretch in your chest and your shoulders, then just walk away from the anchor point a little bit. Take your time here. I love this one. You're working on your rotation and stretching out that front side of your body. One more time each direction here. Big inhales and exhales. Last one. Keeping tension on those straps. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're moving into our workout now. Remember, we're doing 4 sets of every exercise, and our focus today is strength. So I really want you to go really slow and challenge yourself so you can actually feel that tension, that contraction for every one of these exercises. Imagine you're really lifting a lot of weight in the weight room. We're going to start with your TRX crunches. Now we have to review getting your toes in those foot cradles. So you want your straps at mid-calf length. To double check if you did mid-calf length correctly, you have a seat and make sure those foot cradles are dangling just above your toes. Okay, then you want to hold those straps in a Christmas tree, roll backwards, dive your toes into the back side of the foot cradles, keep tension on the straps, take your top leg, flip it over, and now I'm ground facing away from the anchor point. Before we start with these crunches, and I'll give you a second to try that too, the most important thing I can teach you today is you never want your hips to sag during any of this suspended stuff. If you let your hips drop, then your back is going to hurt tomorrow. So make sure you can either check your form in the mirror or just know that your ears, shoulders, hips, and ankles are in that straight line. When those hips start sagging, stop. Take a break. You can join us again later. TRX crunches. 1 and go. Strong plank. Pull the knees in and out. Making sure your shoulders are lined up directly above your hands, keeping those buns nice and tight. Are you driving your heels back into the handles to really help master that nice, straight, active plank? I'm also driving my feet down into the foot cradles as I move. And this is not fast and speedy. This is slow and controlled. 1 more. Now you get 30 seconds of rest. Isn't that amazing? Right now it might feel like too much, but I promise later in the workout you're going to be very grateful for this 30 seconds of rest. Our next one, I'm going to give you the option of turning this into oblique crunches. You can keep resting. Both knees go to one elbow, and then you plank, and then the other elbow. Or you can do those regular crunches again. You guys ready? Whew, this is a mean one to start off the workout. In 3, 2, and 1. Strong plank. I'm going oblique. So both knees go to one elbow, stick the landing. Both knees to the other elbow, stick the landing. Now, if you're noticing pain in your wrists as you do this, make sure your shoulders are back and they're directly above your wrists. People tend to rock forward during these exercises, and then that actually pinches your wrists. We have 10 seconds left. Keep squeezing. Keep driving, not letting those hips sag. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness. Whew. All right, you ready for the next one? It's called TRX Stir the Pot. Again, you can do your oblique crunches, you can do your regular crunches. Otherwise, the stir the pot is you bring those knees all the way around, stop, and then you stir the pot in the other direction. So I have my plank, I come all the way around, stick it, and then all the way back around again and stop. And the cool part about stopping between each one is you're preventing that momentum. You guys ready? Let's try this. 30 seconds. Strong plank. All the way around and brace. all the way around, and brace. Again, think of sticking the landing between each rep, squeezing those butt cheeks. Oh, this one's no joke. 15 seconds left. Eyes out ahead of you slightly, actively pressing into the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. 30 seconds off. Next up are your TRX pendulum swings. For these, you're going to keep your body in a straight line. Remember, you can still do your crunches, oblique crunches, stir the pot, whatever you want for this next one. But if you want to try these pendulum swings, and these are hard, your body stays straight, and you're hinging from your shoulders, and you're going to swing your body from the shoulders. So I'm not doing a little tail wag. I'm pushing into the floor and swinging my whole body. Let's give it a shot. 3, 2, and 1. Side to side. I'm actively pressing my feet down in those foot cradles, pressing my hands down into the floor, squeezing those buns, tummy tight, bam, bam. Keep breathing, keep squeezing, guys. 15 seconds to go. Not letting the hips sag. Body straight as a surfboard. 3, 2, and we survived. Oh my goodness. Guys, grab a sip of water. You survived your first one. Now we're going to move on to your TRX rip trainer. While you're recovering here, I need a second too. I want to go over the parts of the TRX rip trainer here. Okay, so on my rip trainer, I labeled different sections of the rip trainer. At the very end of this is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. So if you forget, this end is zone 1, this end is zone 5, and then the middles. When I say mid-zone, that means you grip right in the middle of each one of these handles here. We're going to do your rip drag, which is basically a standing plank where you hold the squeeze behind your shoulder blades. And I'm going to give you progressive ways to make it a little bit more challenging as we go. So I'm going to have you have palms down mid-zones. Your power side of the cord is on the right side. Stand facing the anchor, squeeze behind your shoulder blades, and we're just going to hold this. I'll move over here a little bit. We're just going to hold this guy, squeezing behind your shoulder blades for 30 seconds. Now, it might look easy, but hopefully you feel that plank. You're resisting that rotation. Your butt cheeks are tight. My favorite is you got the winning lottery ticket between those butt cheeks. Hold on to it. Don't let me take it. That bar is right up against your chest. Your head is floating off your shoulders. Shoulders are ear poison. And release. We have 30 seconds recovery. I'm going to take this down here. And now I'm going to have you turn the bar around. Rip drag on the other side. Palms down mid-zones, standing facing the anchor. When it's time to go, I'm going to pull the middle of the bar right to the middle of my chest. Now, if you want to make it more challenging, you can move back away from your anchor a little bit. And then I'll give you some fun challenges when we go around this again for our third and fourth set. Palms down mid-zones, pull it in, and 30 seconds. Let's squeeze. Everything's locked into place. Those shoulders are square. Those butt cheeks are squeezing, holding onto that lottery ticket. Your chest is square. You're clearly going to feel this a little bit more behind the left shoulder blade because that's the side that's loaded. And your body is resisting rotation. We have 10 seconds to go. Keep squeezing and don't forget to breathe. Tight, tight, tight. Again, shoulders are ear poison. Amazing. You have 30 seconds off. What I'm going to offer you this time to make it a little more challenging is we can add a little bit of an extension to this rip drag. So what I'm going to do, and I'll show you straight behind here, is I'm going to hold this, and as I hold, I'm going to press my right arm out, keeping the bar right against my body. So from that other direction, the bar is dragging across the front of my body, and I'm kind of pressing it out like a pool cue and bringing it right back in. You ready? Mid-zones, power side on the right, squeeze, and try that extension. And then bring it right back in. If that's too much, just hold the rip drag. I'm going to press this out, squeeze, and return. A lot of stability work here. Should feel just like holding a plank. And keeping that rip trainer tight to your body. Pressing the right arm away. Try to keep your right shoulder down too. It might be jumping up into your ear. 3, 2, and 1. Let's try that on the other side. So palms down mid-zones. The cord is on the left side, so it means that left hand is the power hand. And you're going to pull the middle of the bar to the middle of your chest again. Some of you may have noticed, too, that the wider your stance is, the easier it is. The closer your feet are together, the more challenging this is. So that's something else you can play with as well. We're going again in 10 seconds. Palms down, mid-zone, stand facing the anchor. Middle of the bar to the middle of your chest. Squeeze your buns, 2 and 1. Here we go. I'm going to start pressing off to the left, trying to fully extend and bring it back in. Notice how much harder it is when that bar goes all the way out to the left. And back in. Buns tight, tummy tight, core braced, shoulders down. So much to remember, so many rules, 10 seconds. And you just keep resisting rotation. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we got a minute here. You can grab a quick sip of water if you'd like. Whew. Nice job. And now we're going to move on to your TRX lunges. So I want you to bring your straps to mid-calf length for these TRX lunges. And if you're using the same straps, they're probably already there from those crunches. To get your left toe in, grab both handles with your right hand. Look at the poo on the bottom of your left shoe. Pop it through. Meet me on the ground. Make sure your front heel is 1 foot in front of the back knee. Squeeze your buns. Are you ready? 2, 1. Stand it up. Chest is up tall. You're going to lower that back knee about 2 inches off the floor and come right back up again. My chest is tall and proud. I'm going down like an elevator, up like an elevator. I'm not pressing forward and back like an escalator. See, that threw me off balance. Try to grip the ground with your heel and your big toe of that right side. And if you can, make sure that your knee is tracking directly over your middle toes and not wobbling in and out. Time. Single leg butt kick to get out of there. Let's do the other side now. So I'm going to have you grab both handles with your left hand. You're going to bend your right knee, point that toe. And remember, you can pause this at any time. If you're like, wait, hold on, I'm still getting my foot in. Just hit the pause button. Pop that in, woo, and meet me down on the ground. Left heel is 1 foot in front of my right knee. I'm going to squeeze my buns, stand up. Here's my starting position. 2, 1. Lower down, back knee 2 inches off the ground. Squeeze your buns, drive it right back up. Eyes looking out ahead of you a touch, and keeping those shoulders pulled back in your nice straight plank. Is that core still engaged? I hope so. And don't forget to use your back leg, making sure that one is doing some work. Pressing into the floor, again, that full front foot. So your heel and your big toe. 2, 1. Single leg butt kick to get out of there. All right, now we're going to go back to the other side again. So I'm going to have you grab both handles with your right hand. This is probably the trickiest thing you're going to learn today. Bend your left knee. Look at the bottom of your left shoe. Point that toe, pop it into those foot cradles. Now I'm standing facing away from the anchor point. If you want to start from the ground again, totally fine. Sometimes that's nice to get a good reset. Perfect posture. Going in 3, 2, and 1. TRX lunge, set number 3. Squeezing the buns, drive it up. Chest is up tall and proud. That back knee, again, 2 inches off the floor. Taking your time. Remember, today's focus is strength. Slow, grinding, controlled movements. And you'll notice those 30-second rest breaks are already starting to feel shorter, aren't they? 3, 2, 1. Single leg butt kick. We have one more set with these TRX lunges on the left side. So grab both handles with your left hand. Bend your right knee. Point that right toe through the foot cradles. And you're there. Again, if you want to go down to the ground for a second, totally fine. Otherwise, find your balance. Whoa. I swear, I used to be a gymnast. Find your balance. Perfect posture. Core is braced. One more round of these TRX lunges. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Straight down, elevator. Now, again, is that knee coming 1 foot behind your front heel, not driving back? And what's kind of helpful, if you guys are on a door anchor and you move just in front of the door, you'll know that if you actually kick the door with your back leg, you're cheating. We have 10 seconds left. Straight down. straight back up. A lot of work in here, a lot of work up here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're moving on to your rip lunge press. So now we're going to be doing a little bit of pushing and a little bit of lunging. So you're going to grab your rip trainer. You still have like 45 seconds, so if you want a sip of water, take it. But I'm going to show you your setup here. You're going to have your palms down in mid-zones. Remember, that's where you split the difference on each handle. And your right hand is your power hand. So the cord is coming off the right side. Okay, I'm going to stand facing away from the anchor, and my arms are in this Frankenstein position. And we begin at the end range of motion where you're actually in a lunge. Then you step together, pull the bar in, step forward, push it away. Now, that's way harder than it looks. I actually call these drunken lunges because the first time you do it, you're probably going to look slightly drunk and a little wobbly. Take your time. We're going in 10 seconds. Let's find that end range of motion. Palms down, mid-zone, stand facing away, arms extended in your lunge. 2, 1. Step together, and then step out with the other leg. Press it forward. Reset on top, step out, and back. So see how I'm pushing as I'm lunging. But once again, similar mechanics to those TRX lunges. I'm going down like an elevator, and my upper body is staying stable. 10 seconds to go. Take your time, pressing that bar away from you. 3, 2, and 1. Now you got to turn the bar around. This might be another complicated thing. You just have to bring it over the top of your body. Once again, my hands are in mid-zones. I'm standing facing away from the anchor point, and my left hand is my power hand, a little closer to the cord. When you're ready, we'll start in that end range of motion and making sure the knees are lined up for your perfect lunge. I'm going to get down there now. We're going in 5, 4, find it, 3, 2, and 1. You'll step together, pull the bar in, step forward, press it out. Now notice how that bar is trying to twist you as you come up. That's the tricky part. So not only do you have to push off the ground, but you have to keep your core braced to resist rotation. It almost got me that time. Everything nice and tight. Shoulders are down, alternating legs. Big press and reset. 5, 4, 3, 2, one more good one. All right, 30 seconds off. How can we make this harder? We still have 2 more sets here of our 4-set series. Option 1, you can move both hands a little further away from the power side. So instead of being mid-zones, I go to zone 4 and zone 1. Or you can simply move further away from the anchor. I'm going to change my grip. So I'm going to be right hand zone 4, left hand zone 1, facing away. Find that end range. That's going to create more rotation. Oh boy. And step it together. Brace. Here we go, guys. 30 seconds. Body straight. Everything really has to squeeze to resist that rotation when you move your hands away from that cord. 15 seconds left. Slow and controlled. Whew. Didn't seem so hot in here when I first started. Getting a little bit warm now. 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Other side. So whatever you did, if you move further forward, do the same thing here. If you slid your hands away from the cord, do the same thing here. So I'm going to bring my right hand palm down, zone 1, left hand palm down, zone 4, standing facing away from the anchor point. We still have 10 seconds. I'm totally going to milk that right now. Let's start at the end range of motion in your lunge. Arms extended. 2, 1. Let's go. Step together, squeeze. Step out and press. Alternating sides. The cord's trying to whip me to my left. And it's funny, you'll notice one side is probably a little bit stronger and more coordinated than the other. You might be able to tell that this is not my more coordinated side. Are you keeping that space between your ears and your shoulders? Is your body nice and upright? Are your front knees tracking directly over your middle toes? And you're done with that one. We're going to go back to the suspension trainer. You've got a minute. We're going to do your TRX low rows. I'm going to grab a sip of water here. TRX low rows are next. So we did some pushing. Now we're going to go back and do some pulling, mostly upper body focus. So Start heading to your suspension trainer. You still have like 30 seconds. We're going to fully shorten your straps all the way up. Now we've got 4 sets of rowing. Every set, I'm going to encourage you to get your feet lower and lower and lower and lower. It'll be lots of fun. So we're going in 20 seconds. Things to remember during this one: your body stays as straight and tight as a surfboard. So we don't want any weeble wobbles. My big issue is I flare my ribs out. You want to keep those ribs tucked in, core braced. Let's get into that end range. Hands at rib cage, eyes up, toes up towards your shins. 2, 1, here we go. Straighten and big squeeze behind your shoulder blades. Straighten your arms and squeeze. Eyes stay up toward the anchor. Buns are tight. And you're really engaging behind those shoulder blades. Really using this first set to establish your plank. You're going slow and controlled. Feeling that space between your ears and your shoulders. Feeling your toes lift up off the ground. Grabbing that lottery ticket. Nice job. All right, that was your first set. Now you know what a row feels like. My challenge to you is, can you go a little bit steeper? And one thing you can do too with these 30-second sets, you can start a little bit steeper than you can finish, and then just kind of monkey your way back a little bit as you go. You'll see me doing a little bit of that too. We're going again in 10 seconds. Roll out those shoulders. Hands at your rib cage, walk it under. I'm gonna go a little steeper. Eyes at the anchor, here we go. Straighten and squeeze. Eyes stay up, engaging behind those shoulder blades, slow and controlled. Do you have tickle tummy abdominals? You know how tight your abs get if somebody tickles you? That's what you should have right now. We have 10 seconds left. Oh yeah, I'm moving a little bit. Eyes staying up at the anchor. Nice and controlled. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, good job. Shake it out. Stretch it out a little bit. Catch your breath. All right, you know what the challenge is. We're on set number 3. Can you go even lower? Your ultimate goal with your low row, again, if you have a door anchor, this won't work, but if you're directly underneath your anchor point, you can do it, is to get all the way under for a rock bottom row. But those are hard. I'm not gonna go that far. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Big squeeze. Nice and controlled. Imagine you're on that cable row machine in the weight room. Making adjustments as needed. I just had to lighten the weight. Doesn't mean you have to. 15 seconds left. Think of pulling from behind your shoulder blades. Body stays straight. Holding onto that lottery ticket. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job. 30 seconds left. Then we have one more set to go. I want you to think of your body as a series of masses and spaces. Your head is a mass, neck is a space, chest is a mass, waist is a space, hips are a mass. And I want you to keep those masses and spaces as far apart as you can, okay? That's a really cool trick to use when you're doing your rows. We have one more set. Can you go lower? Going in 3, 2, 1. Think of those masses and spaces. Are you spreading them apart? Are you keeping your ribs tucked in? Are you holding on to that lottery ticket? 15 seconds left. Body straight. You've got an orange between your chin and your chest. 3, 2, and 1. You survived the rowing. Oh my gosh. All right, well, you may have thought that was bad. We're moving on to your rip windmill right now. Talk about a core challenge. This is one of my all-time favorite core exercises. So I'm gonna grab onto my rip trainer. You still have 45 seconds. Catch your breath. And stand sideways to my anchor point. My left hand is palm down, zone 1. My right hand is palm up, zone 4. See how that my right shoulder is lined up with the anchor. The rip windmill, I'm gonna keep my feet a little wider than shoulder width apart and just draw a circle in the front of my body as I squat. So I'll start over here, squat down, and bring it around. The bigger the circle, the harder it is. The further out you are, the harder it is. Try to avoid having slack on the inside. 3, 2, and 1. Squat and draw that circle. I'm going straight down and up, so watch out for your knees doing this. And I'm pushing with my right hand, pulling in with my left. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, all the way around. That clock face right in front of me. My chest stays up, and I'm drawing that circle. My body is going down and up. My bar is going around. Awesome. Take a break. 30 seconds, other side. So now my right hand is palm down, zone 1. My left hand is palm up, zone 4. And my left shoulder is lined up with the anchor point. My hips are square forward, and they stay that way the whole time, but I'm drawing that clock face in front of my body. I'm going to start with my bar pointed at 3 o'clock, and then I'll go 6, 9, 12. Ready? Drop it down. So your legs are involved, and notice how my upper body stays straight up and down. You want to avoid doing this as you move around. Squeezing your buns, no slack on that cord. If you need to, you can make your circle a little smaller to prevent the slack. We have 10 seconds left. Every single core muscle, shoulders, back, pushing and pulling. Excellent, done. All right, we have one more of those on each side. Oh, like I said, I may not love it, but it's my all-time favorite core exercise. So we're back again. How can you make this harder? Option 1, you can slide your right hand a little closer to your left in the middle, or you can just move a little further away from the anchor. That's what I'm going to do. All right, we're going in 5. Starting at the end range of motion, I'm going to point to 9 o'clock. 2, 1. Squat. I'm going to make my circle a little bigger too. Dropping the bum down, bringing that bar up and over the top. Masses and spaces are those shoulders away from your ears. Down and drive around. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, 30 seconds off. And we're going to switch it around to the other side here. Whew. Again, to make this one a little bit more challenging, I'm going to move a bit further to my right, a little further away from the anchor point. My right hand is palm down, zone 1. Left hand palm up, zone 4. My left shoulder is lined up with the anchor. We're going in 5. I'm going to start with the bar pointed over here at 3 o'clock. 3, 2, and 1. Squat and around. Buns stay tight. Chest stays forward. Pushing and pulling. Is your torso staying upright? Are you squatting straight down and up like an elevator, not an escalator? 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. All right, you survived your rip windmills. Probably one of the hardest ones we're going to do today. We're going back to the TRX suspension trainer, and we're going to do an exercise called the TRX chest fly. This one is commonly mistaken and done wrong, so I'm going to show you it, get you totally set up with this one. And it can be quite a challenging exercise when you do it correctly. We're going in 30 seconds. I'm going to grab my water here. You want to fully lengthen your straps for those chest flies. Now, I'm going to stand facing away from the anchor point. Palms facing one another. A big split stance. My right heel is off the ground. I'm barely putting any pressure on that front toe. As I lower down, I collapse my front knee and my arms open, and then they press into the handles. Let's try it. 30 seconds. Here we go. Collapse that front knee, press into the handles, drive it back up. Are those straps staying off of your arms? Are you driving your hands down into those handles? Are you barely putting any pressure on that front foot? It's just there for a little bit of balance. Are you in a straight line from your ears to your shoulders to your bum to your back heel? 5, 4, 3, 2. Amazing. Nice job. All right. Now, common faults for that one. Sometimes people turn it into a lunge and just do this, or they take a bow and hinge at their hips. So make sure you're not doing any of that. We're going to do the same thing. If you want to make it a little harder, you can walk back a bit further toward the anchor, or you can just use this set to continue getting used to this strange exercise, which is now also one of my favorites. So guys, we're going in 5 seconds. Give me that split stance. Pick up your front heel, palms facing one another. Collapse that front knee, open, and press into the handles. Remember, a regular chest fly, like with dumbbells or here, feels like you're hugging a big tree or a big beach ball. So those elbows stay at the same bend the entire time, and your palms are facing one another. So try not to do a regular chest press. This is an open and close. My shoulders are mobile, but my elbows are stable. And we have 5, 4, 3, masses and spaces, 2, and awesome job. Shake it out. All right, 30 seconds off here. We're gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna offer you a little bit more of a challenge for this one. If you want, you don't have to. When you come up, you can try to lift the front foot off the ground. So I fall down, and then front foot comes off. A lot of core challenge here. Let's give it a shot in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Collapse that front knee, press down, and return. Oh my goodness. Collapse down, pick up the foot, drive into those handles. This is no joke. Are you keeping your body straight and planked? Are those straps staying off of your arms? Whew. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. All right, we got one more set to get to our 4th set of this one. And after this, we just have one rip exercise, and then we have our sets to failure. Then we cool down. We're almost there. The end is actually in sight. So one more set here. Roll out those shoulders, stretch out your chest. Let's get into position. Once again, you have the option of picking up that foot as you close your arms. But remember, that's a pretty advanced option. You never have to do that. All right, find that split stance. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Collapse forward, pick up the front foot. Bam! TRX chest fly. I like this one so much better than regular dumbbell chest flies or like the pec deck, because you feel how much your abdominals are engaged here and how much your whole body has to coordinate to complete this exercise. But I'm quite sure I'm pushing just as much weight as when I do this with steel. And 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Done with that one. Last one before we go into those 1-minute sets. We're going to do your rip overhead axe chop. Now, if you don't know, I'm actually a world champion lumberjack athlete, but I do not compete using the rip trainer. But I am kind of partial to the overhead axe chop for that reason. I love lumberjack sports. You're going to feel this one a ton in your shoulders and in your triceps. I'm going to have you bring your left hand palm down, zone 1. Right hand palm up, zone 4. You're standing facing away from the anchor. My left foot is in front, my right foot's behind. We're going in 20 seconds, but I want you to do a couple practice reps with me right now. Extend your right arm, pull your left hand into your heart. It's touching your heart. My target is overhead, not out in front of me. Then the cord hits you. Collapse your right arm, set the bar on your shoulder. See how my left hand came out? And then switch, targets overhead. Ready, guys? Let's try this for 30 seconds. This is slow and controlled. You rest the bar on your shoulder and you pull the left hand in. It's push-pull action, pushing my right arm, pulling my left hand. If it's too easy, you can walk forward. Are you keeping that right shoulder away from your ears? Is that target overhead still? If that cord's hitting your body, you know that you're not aiming for the right spot. 3, 2, and 1. Let's switch sides. So you're gonna get that bar on the other side of your body. Right hand palm down, zone 1. Left hand palm up, zone 4. Stand facing away from the anchor. My right foot is in front, my left foot's behind, and I'm gonna start aiming at that overhead target again. So target's overhead, my right hand is right at my heart, my left arm is extended. I'll set the bar on my shoulder by bending my left elbow and straightening my right arm, and then I switch. We're gonna go slow and controlled in 3, 2, and 1. Bend the left arm, pull the right hand in, buns tight, body straight. You're alternating the push and the pull. Everything's squeezed. Remember, this workout is about strength. I know you can get super speedy and powerful with this one, but I want you to go slow and controlled and feel those triceps screaming. Masses and spaces. Are you keeping that left shoulder away from your right or your left ear? 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're switching to the other side. We're still gonna keep it slow and controlled, but I want you to add a little more rotation to this. So left hand palm down, zone 1, right hand palm up, zone 4. Now, when I bring the bar down, I'm gonna rotate my hips a little bit. And then when I bring it up, I'm gonna pivot my right foot. So I'm still keeping my body up and down. I'm not leaning forward and back, but I'm pivoting around that cylindrical axis. Okay, so let's start at the end range of motion. Arm extended, overhead, shoulder down. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back and pivot, push and pull. Push, pull, pivot, plank. The 4 P's of rotation. Squeezing the core, tickle tummy abs, bam. And don't forget to pull that left hand into your rib cage. If you're just pushing with the right arm, that side of your body is going to fatigue really quickly, and you're losing out on half of your strength. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Whew, last one of our 4 setters here. So, overhead axe chop on this last side, right hand palm down, zone 1, left hand palm up, zone 4. If you do want a little more of a challenge, you can move that left hand down toward the right hand. I'm not gonna do that. Stand facing away, right foot is in front, left foot's behind in that split stance, starting overhead. Then you'll rotate back, and then you're pivoting off of that left foot now. So I pivot and come back in 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds, pivot. You bring it back and pivot. Again, strength focused. I know it's tempting to start whipping this thing around, but right now I want you to go slow and controlled because sometimes that can be more challenging. Push and pull, pivot and plank, squeeze. Masses and spaces, you're almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. We got 1 minute. And then we're going to move into those 1 minute to failure sets. Here's the deal with these 1 minute to failure sets. Your option 1 is to go until you can't and then stop. Option 2 is to go until you can't, stop, rest, join us again. Option 3 is to go until you can't, find a modification, and keep going. Okay? Or option 4 is you're just a rock star and you plow all the way through that minute. We're going to start with TRX atomic push-ups. My straps are at mid-calf length. Remember how to get your toes in so that I'm ground facing away from the anchor point. Okay, option 1 is you're on your knees and do a push-up, plank, crunch. Option 2 is you do the full thing, push-up, plank, and crunch. Okay, we're going in 3, 2, 1 minute of fun. Here we go. Nice, strong, active plank. Down and drive and crunch and return. Everything's tight and braced. Is that body as straight as a surfboard? This is hard at the end of a workout, isn't it, guys? Eyes looking a few feet out ahead of you for that neutral spine. You're halfway there. I'm going to drop to the knees and continue. Strong plank. Push-up. You can keep going out of that knee push-up if you want. Squeeze it, set it. We have 15 seconds left, not even. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Double butt kick to get out of there. Now we're moving on to our next 1 minute exercise, and we actually have to do this on 2 sides. It's going to be in the TRX Rip Trainer. We're going to do something called the Rip Punch. Now you still have about 45 seconds to get yourself ready for this one. Remember, when you punch, Remember that push-pull pivot that we did at the overhead axe chop? Same thing. I'm pulling this side in, I'm pushing this one around, and I'm pivoting with that back leg. So let's grab your rip trainer. My left hand is palm down zone 1. My right hand is palm down zone 4. I'm standing facing away from the anchor. Now look at my fingers. My pinky and my ring finger are a little bit loose, so I'm not cranking on my wrist, and I stop with that strap just about touching my shoulder, but it's not quite. I bring the bar back in, so I'm sideways to the anchor, no slack on the straps, and I pull in and drive that cord around. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. And again, today it's a strength focus. So we're going nice and slow. Push and pull and pivot for a minute. Bam. Now, it might take you a few reps to really get the hang of this one. The most common fault here is people forget to pull that left hand toward their body, and they just push the right arm around, and that makes this really challenging. If you do need to make it a little bit easier and modify, you can slide both hands a little closer to the cord. So then you would slide to zones 2 and 5. Shoulders down, take your time. If this is feeling too easy for you, you know the options. You can move a little further away from the anchor, or you can slide your right hand to zone 3. I'm not going to do that. Push and pull. And remember to release the pinky and ring finger as you extend the arm so you're not cranking on your wrist. 5, 4, push, pull, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Other side. Now, we want this to be kind of a minute to failure. So if you don't feel like you're anywhere near failure, take one of those modifications I gave you and make sure that you're really challenging yourself so you're a little closer to failure. Okay, we are going again in 15 seconds. Are you ready, guys? So my right hand is palm down zone 1, left hand palm up zone 4, palm down zone 4, standing facing away, releasing the ring finger and the pinky finger. You're in that position. Going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push, pull, and return. Picking up that left heel, driving your right hand into your rib cage. Shoulders are down out of the ears. My body is rotating like a cylinder. My shoulders stay down. I'm fully extending that left arm away from my body and really pulling my right hand into my side. We have 30 seconds left. Slow and controlled. I know you're feeling like speeding it up, but keep this slow. That's the tricky part. Are you picking up that left heel and rotating your left hip forward? 15 seconds left. 10 to go. Head is relaxed. Masses and spaces. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, guys. Put that rip trainer away. Good news, we're done with this for the day. It's a super fun tool, but it's also kind of a mean one. Okay, we're going to do one more 1-minute set to failure. I'm going to do TRX sit-ups. I'm going to have you bring your straps to mid-calf length. And by now you should be an expert at getting those heels in, but let's try it again. So you're going to have a seat facing the anchor point. 2 fingers in each foot cradle. Hold it wide, roll back, tuck your knees into your chest, and drop those heels into the foot cradles. My toes are back towards my shins. Now TRX sit up. Arms stay up, you drive your heels down and sit all the way up. That's tricky for some people, especially if your hips are tight. Another option is you can actually pull on your legs a little bit to get yourself up if you need to. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. The trick, though, is to actively drive your heels downward. What happens when you're pressing your heels down is it actually activates your glutes, which takes some stress off of your hip flexors and some stress off of your back. Now, my hip flexors on my right side are really tight. So as I get closer to the end of the minute, you might notice this right leg jump out of the foot cradles a little bit. But your goal is to keep that downward drive. And if you watch mine, you can actually see where the straps jump a little bit and I lose tension from my hip flexors saying, hold on a second, I need to take over. And I know in Pilates, you bring those arms all the way behind your head. With the suspension trainer, we want to keep your arms straight up toward the ceiling so you're not using that momentum of swinging your arms up. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, you made it. Guys, let's do some stretches. You have earned it today. Holy cow. I love pairing the suspension trainer and the rip trainer together. And I also love using the rip trainer for strength. A lot of people see it as a tool just to really crank it out, really powerful movements, spiking your heart rate. But when you go slow and controlled, it's an excellent, excellent strength tool. I'm going to grab my mat. You may not need a mat for this if you're kind of in a carpeted area, but I'm going to bring it for one of these stretches. We're going to start with your TRX low back stretch with rotation. So my straps will go down to mid-length. Stand facing your anchor point. Walk it back with your arms straight out in front of you. Take a big inhale, exhale, and fold your body in half. And just enjoy that stretch. You can feel that natural traction, that lengthening of your spine and your shoulders. Now I'm going to have you add a little bit of rotation. Go ahead and bend your right knee. Feel your left hip drop back and look under your left armpit. So I'm not forcing that rotation, I'm just following my hip. And now I'm going to have you bend your left knee, press your right bum back in a little bit of rotation. And then you can kind of go side to side at your own pace. Press one, and then the other. Shoulders are away from your ears. Big inhales and exhales. Good, and slowly bring that up. We're going to stay right here for your seated figure 4 stretch. So keeping your straps at mid-length, I'm going to have a seat. And actually, I'll do this over here so I know that you can see me. Okay, have a seat, and I'm going to have you cross your right ankle over your left knee, and then bend that left knee up, and then lift your chest up toward the anchor. Shoulders are down. I'm pushing my right knee away from my body and using the handles to really pull my chest up. If you find yourself curled up under here like this, that means you're too close. So just scoot your bum back so you have that space to lift your chest up. Hey, that bum worked a lot today. We did a bunch of lunging for sure. So I want to make sure we stretch out that piriformis area. And then if you want to add on to the stretch, you can actually pick up the toes on that left foot. Big inhale and exhale. Good, let's switch sides. Straighten out your right leg, cross your left ankle over your right knee, and then bend the right knee up. Gently pressing your left knee away from you, lift your chest up toward the anchor. And again, just big inhales and exhales. Kind of think about engaging behind your shoulder blades like when we did those TRX rows today. You're pulling back, avoiding this slouch posture. Masses and spaces, make sure your head is floating off your shoulders. If you want a little additional stretch, you can pick up the toes on the right side. And again, big inhales and exhales. Nice job. I assume you're doing a nice job. For some of you, this one might be super tight and uncomfortable, and you know you need to work on this one a little bit, but make sure you're at a position where you can still breathe through the stretch. And come on up out of there. Next one, very similar to one of our warm-up exercises. This is a half kneeling hip flexor stretch. If you're on a hard floor, you are going to want a mat for this one. Hey, for this guy, I'm going to bring my straps down to mid-calf or fully lengthened, and I'm going to stand facing away from the anchor point in my Frankenstein position, arms straight out in front. Now I'm going to step my right foot forward, lower my left knee down, and set it on the ground. I'm pressing my arms up to the ceiling, shoulders away, and squeezing my left bum, driving the hip flexors open and opening up my chest. If you don't feel a stretch, then scooch everything forward a little bit. If you feel too much or your lower back feels it, move back towards your anchor. Now I'm going to drop my right arm down, eyes follow that hand, creating a big opening between my two hands, still letting the shoulders fall away from your ears, still pressing that left hip forward. Give me some big inhales and exhales. This is stretching out pretty much the entire front side of your body, which gets so tight during the day, especially if you sit at a computer and work a lot. Now let's switch sides. Bring both arms up and just switch legs. Now I'm going to bring my left foot in front, squeezing my right bum, driving the hips forward on that right side, pressing the hands up toward the ceiling, letting my shoulders fall away from my ears. Now I'm going to drop that left arm down to the side, creating as much distance as I can between my two hands. And breathe, inhales and exhales. Relaxing your neck again, letting your head float off your shoulders. Isn't this amazing? It might be a little tight, but it's amazing. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, we've got one more stretch that I always love to end with, your TRX chest and torso stretch. I'm going to shorten my straps back up to mid-length. And you're going to stand facing away from the anchor point. Arms in a T. You're on the edge of the Titanic. You're the king of the world. Now step one foot in front. Thumbs stay up toward the ceiling. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. Big inhales and exhales. And just feel that chest open up. If you have the option to, like if you have the straps by you where you work, do this stretch at least once an hour just to open everything back up again. Now you can add some rotation to move back just a touch, drop your right arm down, reach your left arm up and over the top, a little bit of a side bend. And then I'm going to drop that left arm down, reach my right arm up and over the top, a little bit of a side bend. And then I'm going to step my feet together and forward fold. Take a bow and just let your head hang, dangle. Feel that stretch through your hamstrings. And come on up, give yourselves a hand. Wow, that was a tough workout, but also, as promised, a really fun workout. Again, today we focused on full body strength. So guess we're gonna be sore tomorrow? Probably everywhere. But something really funny about the Rip Trainer is even though it feels like it's mostly upper body, when you wake up tomorrow morning, this is where you're gonna feel it, because all these muscles had to stabilize you while you were using that Rip Trainer. So we did a really fun hour-long strength workout. Make sure you're drinking lots of water and having proper nutrition tonight. And I really, really look forward to working out with you again soon. Nice job, everybody.